Don't let anyone play you. Learn these 10 signs now for high-value men. As the great philosopher Sun Tzu once said, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. In the battlefield of relationships, knowing the signs that someone may not have your best interests at heart is the first step in maintaining your dignity and self-worth. Today, we're diving into the 10 key signs that every high-value man must recognize to avoid being taken advantage of. Have you ever felt manipulated or mistreated in a relationship? Share your thoughts in the comments and let's help each other grow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's rise together with Stoic wisdom. Number 1. She always has excuses for not spending time with you. In the early stages of a relationship, everything feels exciting. You look forward to the moments you'll share, and you eagerly plan to spend as much time together as possible. But over time, you begin to notice a shift. She starts cancelling plans, giving vague reasons, or simply not being as available as she once was. At first, these excuses might seem harmless. I'm busy with work, or I've got too much on my plate right now. But as these excuses pile up, something doesn't sit right. You begin to feel that the energy you once shared is slipping away. You're left wondering, is it just me, or is something off? As a man who strives to live by Stoic principles, this stage can be an emotionally charged one. The first instinct might be frustration or resentment. After all, you've invested time, energy, and emotion into this relationship. When she starts pulling away, it's easy to feel hurt or even rejected. But a Stoic man doesn't react impulsively. Instead, he seeks clarity and reason. This is where self-control and emotional awareness become key. A Stoic approach doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, but rather understanding them without being controlled by them. Yes, you feel disappointed, but rather than letting that disappointment dictate your actions, you pause and reflect. What's really happening here? It's possible that her excuses are a sign of deeper issues within the relationship, things that may not be directly related to you, but to her own emotional state, her priorities, or her readiness for a deeper commitment. Sometimes people withdraw when they're overwhelmed, stressed, or unsure about what they want. It's also possible that she's no longer as invested in the relationship as she once was, but hasn't found the courage or clarity to be open about it. As painful as it might be, you have to ask yourself, is it worth continuing to chase someone who isn't prioritizing your time together? The Stoic approach teaches us that the only thing we truly control is our own actions. You can't control her decisions or her feelings, but you can control how you respond. This stage is an invitation to practice patience and introspection. Instead of reacting impulsively, sending a text to ask why she's always busy, or calling her to confront her, take a step back and give yourself space. Reflect on what you need in a relationship. What kind of commitment are you looking for? What does healthy communication and mutual respect look like to you? You may be tempted to chase her, to try to fix the situation or convince her that you're worth her time. But remember, as Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Don't lower yourself by pleading or begging for her attention. Instead, focus on improving yourself, on continuing to pursue your own goals, passions, and values. As you step back and focus on your own growth, you'll realize that your sense of self-worth should not be tied to another person's attention or affection. It's tempting to invest all your emotional energy into someone else's choices, but true strength comes from recognizing that your peace is not dependent on anyone else's actions. If she truly values you, she will make an effort to be present. If she doesn't, then it's time to accept that perhaps this relationship is no longer serving either of you in the way it once did. As the Stoics would remind us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When you detach from the need for validation from her, you will discover that your own value is inherent and not something you need to fight for. The lesson: self-respect. Do not beg for time or attention. Respect yourself enough to let go of someone who doesn't prioritize you. Emotional resilience. Don't allow her excuses to diminish your emotional strength. Let these challenges teach you the value of patience and self-awareness. Clarity and focus. Reflect on what you want in a relationship and make decisions based on your values, not on desperation or fear of loss. By practicing restraint and self-control, you create space for deeper reflection on the relationship. The next steps will reveal whether this relationship is truly aligned with your values or whether it's time to move forward. Number 2, she never introduces you to her friends or family. At first, everything about your relationship feels promising. You share laughs, intimate conversations, and plans for the future. But as time goes on, one thing stands out. She never introduces you to her friends or family. It's a subtle but telling pattern. She seems to keep parts of her life separate from you, as though you're somehow on the outside looking in. At first, you might tell yourself, maybe it's too soon. Maybe she's just a private person. But then the weeks or even months go by and the introduction never comes. Her friends and family remain a mystery, and the distance between the two of you starts to feel more pronounced. As a man guided by Stoic philosophy, this situation requires careful reflection. While you may feel confused, hurt, or even rejected, a Stoic response would be to pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself a critical question. What does this reveal about the nature of this relationship? What's really happening here? There could be many reasons why she hasn't introduced you to those important people in her life. Perhaps she's unsure about the relationship and doesn't want to introduce someone she's uncertain about. Maybe she's been hurt in the past and is afraid of opening up her personal world to someone too soon. Or in some cases, she might be keeping you at arm's length for reasons that are more about her own emotional boundaries than about you specifically. But regardless of the reason, this behavior is an important signal. When a woman is serious about a relationship, she wants to integrate her partner into her life, and that often includes introducing you to her closest friends and family. It's a way of showing you that you matter and that she sees a future with you. If she's consistently keeping you separate from those parts of her life, it might indicate that she's not as invested in the relationship as you are. While it can be painful to confront, this realization is an opportunity for self-awareness. In Stoicism, we are taught that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control how we respond. Instead of chasing after her, seeking validation through her social circles, or trying to figure out why she's keeping you in the shadows, take a step back and reflect on what this situation is teaching you. What is the Stoic lesson here? The key Stoic lesson in this stage is to understand that your worth is not dependent on being accepted into her world. If she values you and sees a future with you, she will naturally want to introduce you to her circle. If she doesn't, then perhaps it's time to ask yourself if this relationship is truly aligned with what you need. A Stoic man is self-aware enough to recognize that his peace of mind doesn't hinge on someone else's actions. If someone is withholding parts of themselves from you, especially their closest relationships, it's important to examine whether you're truly being treated with the respect and transparency you deserve. What can you do now? Instead of forcing the issue or trying to pressure her into making introductions, embrace patience and restraint. Ask yourself if this is the type of relationship that you want. Do you want to be with someone who is unwilling to integrate you into their life, or do you want to be with someone who openly shares their world with you? This situation calls for direct but calm communication. Express your feelings without anger or blame. A Stoic man doesn't approach these conversations from a place of need or desperation. He speaks from a position of clarity and self-respect. Share your thoughts and ask her why she hasn't introduced you to her friends or family yet. Be open to hearing her side, but also remain grounded in your own values. You might learn that she's dealing with personal issues that prevent her from opening up, or you might find that she's not as invested in the relationship as you are. Either way, this stage is about understanding the situation clearly and making decisions based on your own needs and boundaries, not on the fear of rejection or uncertainty. The Stoic approach: reflection over reaction. Instead of reacting emotionally, take a moment to reflect on the situation and what it reveals about the relationship. Maintain self-worth. Understand that your value is not dependent on being introduced to her circle. If she truly values you, she will share her life with you in time. Patience and self-respect. Allow things to unfold naturally without pushing or trying to force a relationship. If she's not ready, accept that it's not a reflection of your worth. Open communication. Have an honest conversation about why she's keeping you separate from her world, but do so with respect and without expectation. Ultimately, this stage teaches you the importance of aligning your actions with your values and ensuring that you're in a relationship that respects both your time and emotional investment. The lesson: self-awareness. Recognize when someone is not fully committing or when they are keeping you at a distance. Your worth is not defined by someone's refusal to include you in their life. Communication. Approach delicate topics with patience and clarity, focusing on understanding rather than confrontation. Self-respect. Don't chase someone who's not ready to introduce you to their world. Your time, energy, and emotional availability are valuable. By practicing restraint and focusing on your own clarity, you'll be in a better position to determine whether this relationship aligns with your values and whether it's worth pursuing further. Number 3. She's always on her phone when she's with you. Here's a subtle but powerful red flag if she's always glued to her phone when you're together. Imagine you've planned a nice evening, carved out time from your busy schedule, and are genuinely trying to connect, but she's scrolling, texting, or checking notifications every few minutes. Sound familiar? Here's the hard truth. If you have to compete with a screen for her attention, you're not her priority. A woman who values your time will be present in the moment, engaged in conversation, and eager to share the experience with you. Time is the most valuable resource you can give someone, and a high-value man understands that. Marcus Aurelius, a cornerstone of Stoic thought, once said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." Every second matters. So if she can't put down her phone and be fully present, what does that say about her respect for your time and energy? A high-value connection thrives on mutual respect and attention. It's not about demanding her undivided focus, but observing whether she naturally offers it. If she's prioritizing social media or texting friends while you're trying to build a meaningful relationship, it's time to reassess. Number 4, she entertains other men in front of you. If a woman openly entertains other men in your presence, it's a clear sign of disrespect and a challenge to your value in the relationship. Some may dismiss this behavior as harmless friendliness, but don't let these surface-level excuses cloud your judgment. In relationships, where attraction dynamics often mirror ancient principles of strategy, it's crucial to recognize when boundaries are being crossed. Stoicism teaches emotional detachment and self-awareness. Men rarely engage in casual conversations with women without some deeper intention. What may seem like a friendly chat could be part of a more calculated interaction. It doesn't matter if she claims innocence or ignorance. What matters is her willingness to engage with other men in front of you. This isn't about controlling or policing her behavior, but understanding boundaries and mutual respect. In the fast-paced reality of modern life, many people hide behind the guise of being socially outgoing or open-minded. However, when your partner seeks attention from others without regard for your feelings, it's time to reassess. A high-value man does not waste energy on unnecessary drama, but instead focuses on maintaining his emotional balance. As Epictetus taught, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You need to set firm boundaries without losing your composure. By calmly addressing the issue, you demonstrate your self-respect and reinforce Stoic principles in your life. If this behavior goes unchecked, it signals to others that she may be available, diminishing your position in her life. In the game of attraction, subtlety is power. She may not realize that allowing these interactions chips away at the foundation of trust and respect. But as a man grounded in Stoic life lessons, you must recognize when it's time to walk away. You cannot control her actions, only your response. High-value men do not engage in petty jealousy or desperation. They lead with dignity, addressing the issue with clarity and confidence. This will either correct the behavior or reveal her true priorities, saving you from further heartache. Modern relationships require a delicate balance of independence and unity. To protect your peace, you must cultivate an unwavering sense of self-worth. By adopting Stoic principles, you ensure that your happiness and confidence remain unaffected by external factors. Remember, your presence in her life is a privilege, not an obligation. If she cannot respect that, it's a sign to refocus your energy on someone who will. As you navigate these complexities, keep in mind the Stoic wisdom of Seneca. Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Surround yourself with people who uplift and value you, and never settle for less. Number 5. She only contacts you when she needs something. One of the biggest signs that a woman doesn't value you for who you are is when she only reaches out when she needs something. Think about it. She's quiet for days, not a single call or text, and suddenly she's in your inbox with a problem. Her car broke down, she's short on rent, or she needs help moving. At first you might feel flattered, thinking, she trusts me enough to ask for help. But take a step back. Is this the only time she reaches out? If every interaction revolves around you fixing her problems, you're not her priority. You're her safety net. You might think, well, I get some attention out of it, so it's not all bad. But Stoic happiness isn't found in fleeting moments of transactional affection. True fulfillment comes from balanced relationships built on mutual respect and shared purpose, not from playing the role of her personal ATM or handyman. Let me tell you about Mike, a successful entrepreneur with a strong sense of Stoicism. He thought he had met the perfect woman, Sarah. She was charming, funny, and seemed genuinely interested in him. But over time, Mike noticed a pattern. Whenever Sarah reached out, it wasn't to ask how he was doing or to make plans. It was always because she needed something, help with her taxes, a connection to one of his business contacts. At first, Mike was happy to help, but as weeks turned into months, he realized their dynamic was one-sided. Mike started pulling back, observing her reactions with the calm detachment of a true Stoic. When he stopped offering assistance, Sarah's interest in him quickly waned. That's when Mike knew her affection was conditional, tied to what he could do for her, not who he was. Now ask yourself, am I in a relationship where my value is based on what I can provide? A woman who truly values you will want to connect beyond the surface level. She'll care about your thoughts, your goals, and your well-being, not just your ability to solve her immediate problems. She won't see you as a convenience, but as a partner. When both partners bring value to the table, that's where Stoic happiness flourishes. This isn't about being stingy or unwilling to help. It's about recognizing when help is expected versus when it's appreciated. So how do you spot these patterns early? Pay attention to how often she initiates conversations that aren't about her needs. Does she ask about your day, your dreams, or your struggles? Does she make an effort to lighten your load, or is it all about what you can do for her? These questions will reveal whether you're in a balanced relationship or being used as a crutch. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to value ourselves and set boundaries that protect our peace. Don't settle for being someone's fallback plan. Value yourself enough to demand reciprocity. In the end, the lesson is clear. A high-value man recognizes when he's being played and steps away. Number 6. She avoids serious conversations about the future. Let's talk about a critical sign you should never ignore when she avoids serious conversations about the future. Picture this. You've been seeing each other for a while and you're ready to talk about meeting each other's families or perhaps planning a trip together. But when you bring it up, she suddenly gets busy or casually says, "Let's not rush things." Sound familiar? This isn't just about her being cautious. It could be a sign that she's keeping her options open. A woman who genuinely sees a future with you will lean into those conversations, not avoid them. Think about it. If someone is truly invested in a relationship, why would they avoid discussing where it's headed? As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." Part of being a high-value man, someone with a Stoic mindset who lives with purpose, is recognizing when you're being strung along and setting boundaries accordingly. So let's dive deeper. If she's consistently dodging talks about the future, ask yourself, why? Is she uncertain about you, or is it because she's afraid of commitment? Either way, this behavior reveals a lack of alignment in your goals. High-value men, those who embrace the principles of Stoicism, know the importance of clarity and purpose in relationships. They don't settle for ambiguity or mixed signals. Instead, they seek partnerships built on mutual respect and shared vision. If she's unwilling to engage in discussions about the future, it might mean she's prioritizing her own needs over the growth of the relationship. But here's the real question. Are you okay with that? Or are you ready to protect your time and emotional energy? Consider this. Would a woman who truly values you and your time hesitate to talk about something as fundamental as the direction of your relationship? Relationships thrive on communication and shared goals. If she's unwilling to have these conversations, she may be signaling that she doesn't see you as part of her long-term plan. This is where your Stoic mindset comes into play. Instead of reacting emotionally, take a step back and assess the situation logically. Is this relationship adding value to your life, or is it draining your energy? Remember, a man who stands for nothing will fall for anything, as Malcolm X wisely said. High-value men don't just react, they strategize, maintaining control over their emotions and decisions. Now let's flip the script. What should you do in such a situation? First, address it directly but calmly. Ask open-ended questions like, "What do you see for us in the future?" Or, "Where do you think we're headed?" These questions aren't just about getting answers, they're about gauging her willingness to engage. If she continues to avoid the topic, it's a clear indicator that her commitment doesn't match yours. And this is where you must decide, are you going to settle for less, or will you walk away with your dignity intact? Walking away might be hard, but as a high-value man, your time and energy are your greatest assets. Never forget that. Share your story, or if you're on that path, just type, "I choose growth," below. Let's celebrate the journey of becoming stronger together. In the end, it's about becoming the kind of person who's not afraid of being alone, because they know that they'll always have themselves. And that, my friend, is what makes you truly unstoppable. Number 7. she frequently mentions her ex. One of the most telling signs that a woman may be toying with your emotions is when she frequently mentions her ex. This behavior often slips under the radar, not because it's blatant, but because it's subtle and veiled in seemingly harmless comments. For instance, she might criticize your choice of a restaurant by saying, "Why are we here? I'd rather go somewhere else." What she's not telling you is that this somewhere else could be tied to a memory with her ex. Such remarks aren't just about preferences. They reveal a lingering emotional attachment, or worse, an attempt to mold you into someone who fits her past. A high-value man, grounded in Stoicism, understands that this behavior is not just a red flag, it's a blueprint of her unresolved issues and a challenge to his emotional independence. In the realm of Stoic life lessons, it's vital to remember the wisdom of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If you allow yourself to be pulled into the orbit of her past, you risk losing your identity, your sense of purpose, and ultimately, your self-respect. What is Stoicism, if not the discipline of maintaining your inner balance regardless of external turbulence? When a woman frequently refers to her ex, she is subtly testing your boundaries. Are you easily influenced? Will you adapt to her whims and allow her past to dictate your present? A Stoic man would neither overreact nor ignore these signs. Instead, he would address them with calm assertiveness, making it clear that while he values communication, he will not entertain comparisons to another man. In modern life, where social media often magnifies insecurities and blurs boundaries, the temptation to overlook these signs is greater than ever. Society has conditioned many men to believe that accommodating a partner's every request, even at the cost of their dignity, is a show of love. However, this mindset is antithetical to the principles of high-value living. Your role as a high-value man is not to compete with her past, but to set a standard for the future. If she cannot let go of her ex, it is not your responsibility to heal her wounds or carry the weight of her emotional baggage. Instead, focus on building a relationship rooted in mutual respect and growth, where both parties are present and fully invested in the moment. True Stoicism teaches us to prioritize what we can control: our actions, our values, and our reactions. By staying grounded and refusing to be swayed by emotional manipulation, you not only protect your peace, but also set an example of what it means to live with purpose. A woman who respects you will recognize your emotional fortitude and will be inspired to meet you at your level. But if she persists in dragging her past into your present, it's a clear sign that she's not ready for the kind of relationship you're offering. High-value men know when to walk away because they understand that their worth is not tied to anyone else's validation. So take these Stoic life lessons to heart and never let anyone dim your light or pull you into the shadows of their unresolved past. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need a reminder of the strength that comes from living with purpose. Number 8. She makes you feel guilty for setting boundaries. She makes you feel guilty for setting boundaries. This is a red flag no high-value man should ever ignore. Here's how it usually plays out. You communicate something important, like feeling uneasy about her going out every weekend or wearing outfits that don't align with your values. Instead of respecting your feelings, she flips the script, accusing you of being controlling or insecure. This isn't just a disagreement. It's emotional manipulation designed to make you doubt yourself. A Stoic man understands that boundaries aren't about control, they're about mutual respect and protecting what matters. You're not trying to limit her freedom, you're ensuring the relationship thrives on trust and shared values. Let me tell you a story. A friend of mine, a successful entrepreneur, was in a similar situation. He loved his partner deeply, but noticed a recurring pattern. Every time he voiced his concerns, she would gaslight him, painting him as the villain. Eventually, he realized that no amount of success or emotional investment could sustain a relationship where his boundaries were trampled. Now let's bring it home. What happens when we don't set boundaries? We lose ourselves, and that's the fastest path to resentment and unhappiness. Stoic happiness, a key principle in Stoicism today, teaches us that inner peace comes from living in alignment with our values. When someone makes you feel small for enforcing boundaries, they're not just disrespecting you, they're undermining the very foundation of a healthy relationship. So ask yourself, are you willing to sacrifice your peace for the illusion of harmony? The truth is, a high-value man doesn't need to beg for respect. He leads by example, standing firm in his principles. And here's the kicker: the right partner will appreciate and even admire this strength. The lesson here is simple but powerful. Boundaries are a form of self-respect, and allowing someone to guilt-trip you into compromising them only erodes your sense of worth. Don't let anyone, no matter how much you care about them, convince you that your standards are a problem. A Stoic life isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about embracing the discomfort that comes with growth and standing firm in your truth. Remember, the relationships you build should amplify your happiness, not drain it. If she's not ready to meet you halfway, she is not ready for the level of respect and commitment you bring to the table. So stand tall, embrace Stoic happiness, and never apologize for protecting your peace. Number 9. She only compliments you when she wants something. If you ever notice that her compliments only roll in when she needs something from you, it's time to wake up. A woman who says how amazing you are or how great you look, only to immediately ask for a favor, isn't giving you genuine appreciation. She's using flattery as a tool. Think about it. Does true admiration come with a price tag? Absolutely not. Real recognition is freely given, not dangled like bait to get what she wants. As a high-value man, you need to develop a Stoic mindset that allows you to see through manipulation and stay grounded in your worth. Manipulation often wears the mask of admiration, but with a little discernment, you can spot the cracks. Ask yourself, are her words consistent with her actions, or do they only surface when she stands to gain something? Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts are constantly clouded by her conditional praise, you're allowing someone else to control your narrative. And let me tell you, a man who operates with a Stoic philosophy doesn't let anyone dictate his value. So here's a crucial question to ponder. How many times have you been roped into doing something simply because her words stroked your ego? Did you feel genuinely appreciated, or did it feel like a transaction? High-value men understand that their worth doesn't hinge on the fleeting approval of others, especially when it's tied to hidden agendas. This kind of manipulation preys on your need for validation, but when you embrace a Stoic mindset, you learn that validation comes from within. Epictetus wisely advised, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The next time you're showered with compliments, take a moment to assess the intent behind them. Is she building you up out of respect and admiration, or is she laying the groundwork to get what she wants? Think about this scenario. She tells you, "You're the best at handling these things. No one else could do it like you." And then follows it up with, "Can you help me with something this weekend?" On the surface, it might feel good to hear such words, but a high-value man knows to dig deeper. He understands that actions speak louder than words and won't allow himself to be swayed by superficial flattery. Genuine connection and respect aren't built on manipulation. They're founded on mutual appreciation. How would you feel if the roles were reversed? Would your words of praise be genuine, or would they come with an ulterior motive? This is where emotional independence becomes a game changer. By adopting the Stoic approach, you reclaim your power and set clear boundaries. You learn to differentiate between those who truly value you and those who see you as a means to an end. Remember, manipulation loses its grip when you refuse to seek approval from anyone but yourself. What kind of man do you want to be? The one who is easily swayed by sweet words, or the one who stands firm in his values and sees through the smoke and mirrors? When you live with purpose and embrace the Stoic mindset, you won't just attract respect from others, you'll demand it without even saying a word. If this resonates with you, leave a comment below or simply type, "I don't chase, I attract." This affirmation is more than just words. It's a mindset rooted in Stoic life lessons. Number 10, she threatens to leave. During disagreements, when a woman repeatedly threatens to leave during disagreements, it's more than just a sign of poor conflict resolution. It's a calculated attempt to gain control. This tactic plays on fear, leveraging your desire for stability and connection against you. In these moments, she isn't seeking resolution, she's seeking dominance. Statements like, "Maybe we should break up," or "I can find someone better," aren't throwaway comments. They're strategic moves meant to keep you off balance, questioning your worth and the relationship. High-value men don't allow external forces to dictate their emotional state. In Stoicism, we learn that true power comes from maintaining inner peace despite external turmoil. A woman who genuinely values you will approach disagreements as opportunities to strengthen the relationship, not as battlegrounds for power plays. These threats, no matter how casually delivered, are toxic and reveal a fundamental lack of respect for the partnership. In modern relationships, emotional manipulation can be subtle, but it's critical to remain vigilant. When someone weaponizes the fear of abandonment, they exploit a natural human vulnerability, the longing for security. However, Stoic life lessons remind us that our sense of security must come from within. What is Stoicism, if not a guide to navigating life with clarity and resilience? By practicing emotional independence, you free yourself from the grip of these manipulative tactics. Understand that threats of abandonment are not reflections of your value. They are indicators of insecurity and a need for control. A high-value man recognizes this and sets firm boundaries, refusing to tolerate behavior that undermines his peace or self-worth. Consider this in the context of modern life. Social media, dating apps, and constant connectivity make it easier than ever for people to play games in relationships. But as a man striving for self-mastery, your focus should remain on your purpose and principles. Relationships should enhance your life, not complicate it with unnecessary drama. When faced with threats or ultimatums, take a step back and evaluate whether the relationship aligns with your values and goals. If it doesn't, have the strength to walk away. As Marcus Aurelius advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This means you can't control her behavior, but you can control how you respond to it. In conclusion, recognizing manipulation is key to protecting your emotional well-being. Don't let anyone, no matter how close, destabilize your focus or compromise your standards. Embrace what Stoicism teaches about detachment and resilience. By doing so, you safeguard not only your peace of mind, but also your ability to thrive as a high-value man in all areas of life. She threatens to leave. During disagreements, when a woman repeatedly threatens to leave during disagreements, it's more than just poor conflict resolution. It's a calculated attempt to gain control. Statements like, "Maybe we should break up," or "I can find someone better," are not throwaway comments. They are strategic moves meant to keep you off balance, questioning your worth and the relationship. High-value men don't allow external forces to dictate their emotional state. In Stoicism, we learn that true power comes from maintaining inner peace despite external turmoil. A woman who genuinely values you will approach disagreements as opportunities to strengthen the relationship, not as battlegrounds for power plays. She will lean into open communication, seeking compromise and understanding rather than resorting to threats. These threats, no matter how casually delivered, are toxic and reveal a fundamental lack of respect for the partnership. In modern relationships, emotional manipulation can be subtle, but it's critical to remain vigilant. When a person weaponizes the fear of abandonment, they exploit a natural human vulnerability, the longing for security. However, Stoic life lessons remind us that our sense of security must come from within. What is Stoicism, if not a guide to navigating life with clarity and resilience? By practicing emotional independence, you free yourself from the grip of these manipulative tactics. Understand that threats of abandonment are not reflections of your value, but indicators of their insecurity and need for control. A high-value man recognizes this and sets firm boundaries, refusing to tolerate behavior that undermines his peace or self-worth. Consider this in the context of modern life. Social media, dating apps, and constant connectivity make it easier than ever for people to play games in relationships. But as a man who strives for self-mastery, your focus should remain on your purpose and principles. Relationships should enhance your life, not complicate it with unnecessary drama. When faced with threats or ultimatums, take a step back and evaluate whether the relationship aligns with your values and goals. If it doesn't, have the strength to walk away. As Marcus Aurelius advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This means you can't control her behavior, but you can control how you respond to it. In conclusion, recognizing manipulation is key to protecting your emotional well-being. Don't let anyone, no matter how close, destabilize your focus or compromise your standards. Embrace what Stoicism teaches about detachment and resilience. By doing so, you safeguard not only your peace of mind, but also your ability to thrive as a high-value man in all areas of life. The 9 stages a woman goes through. During no contact, high-value men must know Stoic life lessons. Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. Have you ever wondered what truly unfolds in the silent space of no contact? Is it just a break, or is it the start of something deeper? Welcome back to Wind Stoic, where we explore relationships through the lens of personal growth and timeless Stoic wisdom. Today, we're diving into a topic that has intrigued many: the 9 stages a woman experiences during no contact, and how men can use this time not as a passive waiting period, but as a powerful opportunity for self-transformation. Whether you're moving through a breakup, taking a step back from a relationship, or seeking to reignite a past connection, understanding these stages can be a game changer. It's not just about what happens on the other side, but about how you can evolve and strengthen your own mindset during this time. If you're ready to explore these stages and use this time to become your best self, make sure to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. How have you applied the no contact rule in your life, and what have you learned from it? Let's uncover these insights together and turn silence into your greatest tool for growth. Stage 1. Initial shock and denial. When you step back from a relationship, especially one that has provided comfort and familiarity, it's like turning off a light that once illuminated your everyday life. For a woman, the initial phase of no contact can feel like a seismic shift, an emotional earthquake that leaves her reeling. The absence of your presence, your voice, and the connection you once shared creates a void that feels almost impossible to ignore. It's in this silence that she finds herself grappling with the reality that everything has changed. As human nature dictates, her first reaction might be to deny it. This is just temporary. He'll reach out soon. This silence won't last. Denial is a defense mechanism, a way for her mind to delay accepting the truth that things may not return to what they once were. This is where the wisdom of Stoic life lessons can guide you. As a man grounded in Stoicism, you recognize that emotions are like waves. They come and go, but they are not within your control. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realizing this gives you strength. Her initial shock and denial are external events beyond the scope of what you can influence. Understanding this allows you to stay grounded, knowing that it's not your role to try to control or change her feelings. Instead, your focus should remain on your response, the one thing truly within your grasp during this phase. The temptation to break the silence and reach out might be strong. You may feel a pull to offer comfort, to step in and reassure her, easing the discomfort you know she's facing. But this impulse, while well-intentioned, disrupts a crucial process of self-reflection and growth that is unfolding for both of you. In moments like these, patience becomes your greatest ally. By allowing the silence to unfold naturally, you give both yourself and her the space to process emotions, evaluate needs, and gain clarity. Rushing to break the silence not only robs you of this crucial time, but also undermines the strength of the no-contact period itself. Stage 2. Curiosity and self-reflection. After the initial silence stretches for days or even weeks, a shift happens, for both you and for her. The confusion, frustration, or sadness she may have initially felt starts to soften, and in its place, a new emotion takes root: curiosity. She begins to ask herself those questions that have been lurking just beneath the surface. Questions that didn't seem to matter before, but now feel urgent and pressing. Why hasn't he reached out? Is he really fine without me? Is he thinking about me? Or has he moved on? These thoughts become like a quiet background hum, growing louder as time passes, especially since there's been no communication. Her mind may wander, wondering what you're doing, who you're spending time with, and whether your silence is a strategic choice or merely a sign of pride. But this curiosity often leads to something deeper: self-reflection. As she ponders these questions, she might also revisit the memories of your relationship, replaying moments that made her laugh or cry. She may find herself reflecting on what was good and what went wrong, analyzing the connection you both shared. But it's important to remember that during this time, it's not just her doing the reflecting, you should be too. This stage isn't a passive waiting game. It's a chance for both of you to dive into your thoughts and emotions. In the Stoic mindset, self-reflection is a cornerstone of personal growth. As Epictetus once said, it is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them. This is your chance to re-examine your judgments, to confront your role in the dynamics that unfolded. Ask yourself, what role did I play in those moments of conflict? Did I clearly express my needs, or did I expect her to read my mind? Was I truly present, or did I sometimes take her presence for granted? These questions may stir up uncomfortable truths, but this discomfort is where growth begins. As the Stoics believe, growth lies in facing our truths without flinching, using each moment of discomfort as a stepping stone toward becoming our best selves. Think of this stage as holding up a mirror, not just to her emotions, but to your own. Remember, we cannot control the wind, but we can adjust our sails. As the Stoics remind us, you can't control her thoughts or reactions during this time apart, but you do have power over your own actions and mindset. You might feel an almost overwhelming desire to reach out, to end the uncertainty, to know if she's thinking about you too. But this is where the Stoic mindset demands patience. Resisting that urge and allowing both of you the space to fully process and reflect is vital. When you act out of impulse, you risk interrupting a process that could lead to deeper understanding and growth on both sides. This time apart is not just a void, it's fertile ground for transformation. By resisting the urge to fill the silence, you open up space for a more profound understanding of yourself and your relationship. As you navigate this stage, think about what Marcus Aurelius once wrote. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What colors are you choosing to paint your thoughts with? Are they shades of patience, self-reflection and growth? Or are they tinged with anxiety and doubt? This phase of no contact offers you the chance to cultivate inner strength and clarity, traits that define high-value men and align with the teachings of Stoic philosophy. Whether or not your relationship rekindles after this, both of you will emerge from this time changed, more aware of your needs, your boundaries, and your values. This stage is about more than just waiting. It's about embracing the stillness as a time for both of you to evolve. So take a deep breath and ask yourself, how do you feel about this stage of curiosity and self-reflection? What truths have come to light about your role in the relationship and your growth as an individual? Feel free to share your thoughts or simply type, "I'm embracing this time for clarity and growth." This is your moment to deepen your self-awareness, so approach it with purpose and let the lessons guide you toward becoming the person you're meant to be. Stage 3. Realization of loss. As time passes, the realization of loss truly begins to set in for her. It's not just about missing your physical presence, it's the absence of your energy, your unwavering support, and the stability you brought into her life. Those small moments she once took for granted, your words of encouragement, the feeling of security, the simple comfort of knowing you were always there, are now missing, leaving a noticeable void. She starts to see that this emptiness isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's a new reality she must adjust to. Suddenly, the comfort and familiarity that came with having you around are gone, and it becomes clear that this change is much more profound than she initially realized. In this stage, a sense of regret often surfaces, a lingering what if. It's the moment she understands, perhaps more deeply than ever, the value of what she had and the significance of what she's lost. This reflection isn't only about the time spent together, it's about the deeper connection, the emotional safety, and the sense of belonging she now finds missing. But while she is immersed in this self-reflection, your focus must remain on something much greater. As a man guided by the principles of Stoicism, you understand that life's impermanence is inevitable, and everything, be it relationships or emotions, can change. This understanding isn't about being indifferent, but about finding peace in the transient nature of life. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." It's a perspective that invites you to see the end of a relationship or even a temporary separation as a natural part of life's flow. When you truly internalize this, you gain the strength to detach from the outcome. It's not about waiting for her to come back or hoping she sees your worth again. It's about embracing the wisdom that comes with accepting what you cannot control. This is what separates those with a Stoic mindset from individuals who navigate the ups and downs of life without losing sight of their inner peace. During this phase, she might wrestle with her emotions, but for you, it's a time to turn inward, to become the man of virtue that Stoic philosophy teaches. Stage 4. Reflection and self-discovery. In this stage, you've reached a turning point. The initial shock and emotional turmoil of the breakup have started to fade. While the pain might still linger, there's a growing sense of clarity. You've had time to reflect on the relationship, your role in it, and most importantly, what you've learned about yourself. Stoicism teaches us to embrace self-reflection in moments of pain and uncertainty. It's in these moments that the seeds of growth are sown. A Stoic man doesn't shy away from his emotions, but rather uses them as tools for introspection. He looks inward and asks, "What can I learn from this experience? How can I use this pain to become stronger?" You've likely come to realize that the relationship wasn't just about what was lost, but also about what you gained. The time apart has allowed you to focus on yourself, on your goals, and on your values. You might have rediscovered passions or interests you'd forgotten about. Maybe you've built new routines, invested in your personal development, or even strengthened your relationships with friends and family. It's important to remember that growth isn't always comfortable. In fact, some of the most significant lessons come from the most painful experiences. But as Epictetus once said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In this stage, your reaction to the breakup will define the man you become. While you may still feel the temptation to reach out or question what could have been, this period of reflection should be about self-discovery and healing. Resist the urge to rush back into the past. Instead, take a moment to appreciate how far you've come and how much you've learned. This is not about the woman you were with, it's about the man you are becoming. As Marcus Aurelius advised, dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. This stage is a reminder that life is always moving forward. Each moment of reflection brings you closer to understanding your true self and what you need from future relationships. When you come to terms with the lessons this period has brought, you'll find that you're no longer dependent on external circumstances for your peace. You've learned to embrace the inner strength that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. Stage 5. Fear of losing you forever. This is the stage where silence morphs into a deafening echo in her mind, a stage where the reality of losing you forever becomes a weight she can no longer ignore. After weeks or even months of no contact, she begins to grapple with a profound sense of fear, the kind that keeps her up at night. Questions swirl in her thoughts. Has he moved on? Is he truly happier without me? The silence, once a tool for clarity, now feels like a void that grows deeper each day. She starts to realize that the distance between you is more than physical, it's emotional. That realization carries a heavy weight. It's no longer just about missing you, it's about confronting the possibility that you might never return, that you might have found a sense of stoic happiness without her. This fear is powerful. It's that unsettling feeling when she imagines you slipping away, becoming just a memory of someone she once knew, but who now seems to be fading from her life. It pushes her to reflect on the choices she made, and whether letting you go was a mistake. She might envision a future where you've moved on, where your life continues without her presence in it. The imagined scenes play over and over in her mind, each more distressing than the last, making her question if she should take action before it's truly too late. And it's during these moments that she may feel an overwhelming urge to reach out, hoping to recapture what's slipping away. But here's where the timeless teachings of Stoicism offer their wisdom. As someone who follows the principles of Stoicism, you understand that emotions like fear, whether they are hers or your own, should never be the compass that guides your actions. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great philosophers of Stoicism, reminds us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. This insight is especially relevant during this stage. The fear of losing someone can grow in our minds, inflating into an all-consuming worry. We create scenarios, torment ourselves with thoughts of what could happen, and in doing so, we forget the value of the present moment. Yes, she may be overwhelmed by anxiety, worrying that she's lost you forever, but as a Stoic, your focus remains on maintaining your peace, not on the uncertainties of her thoughts. You've come this far by not letting anxiety dictate your decisions. The Stoic path teaches you to release attachment to outcomes, to let go of the need to control how things unfold. Whether she returns or chooses a different path, your peace is not dependent on her decisions. It lies in your growth, your resilience, and your ability to stay grounded, even when faced with uncertainty. You are not defined by whether or not she reaches out to you. You are defined by the strength you've built within yourself during this time. You've worked on yourself, building your self-worth and focusing on personal development. You've become stronger, more self-assured, and more centered. The fear she now feels is a reflection of the distance between the version of you she remembers and the version you've become. But don't let this fear, whether it's hers or your own, push you into abandoning the progress you've made. If she comes back, she will find a man who is calm, centered, and confident in his path. If she doesn't, it changes nothing about the inner peace you've cultivated. Ultimately, your peace is not dependent on external events or the decisions of others. It comes from deep within you. This is the essence of modern-day Stoicism. Mastering yourself, not being mastered by external circumstances. Fear is a natural emotion, but it should never be allowed to control you. Trust in your growth, trust in the wisdom you've attained, and trust that no matter what happens, you will remain steadfast and unshaken. During this period of no contact, she may be overwhelmed by the fear of losing you, but you focus on maintaining your inner peace and self-esteem. You remain steadfast, embracing the Stoic happiness that comes from knowing that your worth is not dependent on anyone else's actions. Whether she contacts you or not, you continue on your path, unconcerned with the chaos around you. This is your journey, and it is built on the strength, insight, and wisdom of Stoicism. Stage 6. Contemplation of reconnection. After a long stretch of silence, she finds herself constantly checking her phone, her thoughts swirling in the quiet spaces between you. That silence, which she once thought was a sign of strength or independence, now feels like a void she's tempted to fill. The stage of contemplation of reconnection is when she starts to seriously consider reaching out to you. It's no longer a fleeting thought, but a genuine possibility that occupies her mind. She reflects on the past, on what you both had, what she might have lost, and what she genuinely desires moving forward. Yet, amid this reflection, she feels torn. Should she be the one to break the silence, or should she wait, hoping you'll make the first move? This inner conflict can feel overwhelming, a tug of war between her pride, the longing for connection, and the fear of your response. But here's where you, as a man with a Stoic mindset, need to pay attention. If she does reach out, it's not just about her reaching out. It's about what this means for you and what you want moving forward. Pause and ask yourself some critical questions. Is reconnecting the right choice for you? Are you considering it because you genuinely believe there's potential for a healthier, better relationship? Or are you, like her, simply feeling the weight of silence and looking to ease your loneliness or need for validation? Remember, a high-value man, a true Stoic, doesn't rush into decisions without self-reflection. As Marcus Aurelius said in Meditations, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So it's essential to discern whether your thoughts are driven by clarity or desperation. Now ask yourself, what truly lies beneath your desire to reconnect? Is it strength or is it fear? In this stage of contemplation, your role is not just to react to her reaching out, but to reflect on what you really want. Whether you decide to reconnect or remain silent, ensure it's a decision that reflects your true self, a man who values inner peace over fleeting emotions. This is the essence of what it means to be a high-value man with a Stoic approach, embracing the complexities of relationships with clarity, resilience, and purpose. Whether you choose to re-engage or continue on your own path, let it be a testament to your growth and the wisdom you've gained from the silence. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need a reminder of the strength that comes from holding on to their dignity. Let's keep this conversation going and dive deeper into what it truly means to live by the principles of Stoicism. Stage 7. Appreciation and acknowledgement. In the 7th stage of the no-contact journey, a profound shift takes place. The initial rush of emotions she experienced, anger, frustration, or even a fleeting sense of relief, gradually gives way to a deeper reflection. It is during this period of stillness that appreciation begins to surface in her mind, almost like the dawn after a long night. As she looks back, she starts to see those small moments that once went unnoticed: your dependability, the way you were always there when it counted, how you listened when she needed to share her thoughts, or the gentle encouragement you offered in her low moments. All of these things start to take on a new significance. The ordinary acts of care that might have faded into the background before now stand out with vivid clarity. She begins to realize that your presence, your steady support, is not so easily replaceable. And with that realization comes a sense of gratitude. This acknowledgement of your role in her life is a turning point, as it forces her to confront the gap your absence has left. Yet this phase isn't just about her realization. It's also an essential time for you to reflect. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them." The wisdom of Stoicism teaches us to find value in all experiences, even those that come with pain and uncertainty. While she is beginning to appreciate what you brought into her life, it's equally crucial for you to appreciate what this period of separation has taught you. Perhaps you've found a new strength within yourself, a clarity about what you truly need in a relationship, or a deeper understanding of your own worth. Instead of focusing on what has been lost, turn your gaze to what you've gained during this time: self-awareness, resilience, and a renewed sense of independence. It's easy to get caught up in whether or not she might return, but as a man guided by Stoic principles, you understand that your peace is not dependent on the actions of others. True gratitude, as Stoicism teaches, is not tied to outcomes. It's about recognizing the growth you've experienced, the lessons learned, and the strength you've gained, regardless of her decision. In this way, both of you are in a stage of acknowledgement. She's coming to terms with the value of what she had with you, while you are learning to appreciate the personal transformation that this time apart has facilitated. As she moves through her stage of appreciation, you are walking a parallel path of growth, becoming a better version of yourself with each passing day. Even if she acknowledges the value you brought to her life, the ultimate victory lies in the fact that you've recognized your own. In the end, whether she comes back or not becomes secondary to the realization that you have become stronger, more resilient, and more attuned to your true self. This is the power of Stoic life lessons, finding value in every phase of the journey and learning to appreciate the strength that emerges through adversity. As Epictetus reminds us, "He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing." And now, through this process, you've learned to be content with the most important thing of all, yourself. This realization, this self-worth, is a treasure that no one can take away from you. It's what makes you truly unshakable. If you've made it this far and found this video valuable, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below saying "Focus on my goals" to let us know how this content has resonated with you. Your feedback means a lot and helps us create even more helpful content. Thanks for your support. Now, let's continue. Stage 8. Waiting for your move. In this stage, she finds herself at a crossroads. After a whirlwind of emotions, confusion, anger, and even loneliness, she's reached a moment of stillness. Now she wonders, should I reach out to him, or should I wait and see if he will make the first move? It's not just about her feelings anymore. It's about weighing the possibility of reconnecting or walking away for good. Her emotions, once intense and raw, have settled enough for her to contemplate the next step with a clearer mind. But the uncertainty lingers, and it's in this delicate balance that she stands, anticipating your next move. For you, on the other side of this no-contact period, this is a crucial turning point. The pull to reach out can feel overpowering. Your mind races with thoughts like, what if she's slipping away? What if I don't reach out and it's too late? But here, Stoicism becomes your anchor, guiding you through the storm of emotions. In moments like this, when impulsivity threatens to take over, a Stoic perspective teaches you to pause. Remember, Stoicism, both in ancient times and today, emphasizes the power of restraint, acting with intention rather than reacting out of fear. The urge to text her or make a move may come from the pain of missing her. But before you reach for your phone, ask yourself, is this action driven by clarity and reason, or is it just a way to soothe my anxiety? A Stoic man embraces this space, allowing himself to feel without rushing to eliminate the discomfort. Consider this. You find yourself in a cafe, sipping your coffee, and memories of her start flooding back. You remember the way she laughed, the moments you shared, and suddenly the desire to reconnect feels almost unbearable. But instead of giving in, you take a breath and reflect, is this really the right time, or am I acting out of fear of losing her for good? A Stoic man understands that even in relationships, the greatest strength lies in self-control. He knows that acting impulsively might lead to short-term relief, but it could also throw away all the progress made during this period of self-reflection. A modern-day example might go like this. A friend of mine recently went through a breakup and decided on the no-contact rule. Weeks went by, and just as he was starting to feel at ease with the silence, she reached out, hinting at wanting to talk. He felt a rush to respond immediately, but instead he took a walk, reflected on their past, and asked himself whether reopening the door would truly be beneficial. His pause allowed him to realize that while he missed her, he wasn't ready to fall back into the same dynamics. In the end, he chose to have an honest conversation, but on his terms, not out of a need for immediate comfort. This stage isn't about playing games. It's about self-awareness and patience. It's about letting time reveal what's genuine and acting in a way that respects both your growth and hers. So ask yourself, am I ready to step into a new chapter, or am I just clinging to what's familiar? Whether you choose to reach out or wait for her, let your actions come from a place of inner strength, not from the fear of being alone. This is the true essence of Stoic happiness, finding contentment in your choices, knowing that you are guided by your values, not by fleeting emotions. In the end, whatever happens, you'll know you acted with intention, aligning your actions with your growth. And that's what Stoicism asks of us today. To be steady in the face of uncertainty, to let go of what we can't control, and to trust that by doing so, we become stronger. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need a reminder of the strength that comes from holding on to their dignity. Let's keep this conversation going and dive deeper into what it truly means to live by the principles of Stoicism. Stage 9. Reconnection and positive growth. Reconnecting after a no-contact period is a critical juncture, a chance to redefine the dynamics between you and her. But it requires a thoughtful, deliberate approach. If she's reaching out, it suggests she's taken time to reflect on your absence, potentially realizing the value you bring to her life. But remember, this stage isn't a race. It's about laying a solid foundation for a new beginning, where mutual respect and understanding must be at the forefront. Rushing back into things can lead to repeating the same mistakes, which is why patience is key. This is where all the work you've done on yourself during the no-contact period becomes invaluable. You've embraced a Stoic mindset, focusing on self-improvement, mastering your emotions, setting clear boundaries, and reinforcing your self-worth. A high-value man recognizes that a relationship's strength comes from the resilience and stability of each individual involved. You've used this time wisely, transforming yourself, not for her, but for your own growth. Now, with the prospect of reconnection, there's potential for the relationship to evolve into something healthier, provided both of you have genuinely put in the effort. However, this isn't the time to let your guard down. While the desire to reconnect might feel strong, remember that a Stoic man approaches such situations with clarity and purpose. How do you ensure that this reconnection aligns with the growth you've achieved? Start by maintaining your composure. Don't let the excitement of this new chapter blind you to the realities. Recall what Marcus Aurelius advised: the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. In this moment, it's crucial to remain mindful of the lessons you've learned. Ask yourself, what insights did I gain about myself during this time apart? Which of my emotional triggers became clearer to me? And how can I apply these lessons to forge a relationship that is more resilient than before? Effective communication is non-negotiable in this stage. Sit down together and openly discuss the reasons that led to the no-contact period. Explore what needs to change and how both of you can ensure a healthier dynamic moving forward. This process demands honesty, not just with her, but with yourself. Are you both truly ready to address past issues? Have you both grown from this experience? Use this moment to establish clear expectations and boundaries, knowing that compromising your core values or self-respect should never be an option. After all, Stoic philosophy reminds us to prioritize rational decision-making, ensuring that we remain grounded even in emotionally charged situations. If she's genuinely interested in working through these issues, it's a promising sign. Together, you can rebuild a stronger connection, one that stands on a foundation of mutual respect, renewed appreciation, and emotional strength. But reconnection isn't about returning to what once was. It's about crafting a new, healthier dynamic that reflects the growth both of you have undergone. Remember, to improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often, as Winston Churchill once noted. This evolution is crucial for any relationship to thrive. Yet, what if the same issues linger, or she hasn't fully acknowledged your growth and value? In such cases, it's important to recognize that not all connections are meant to last. A high-value man with a Stoic mindset understands that preserving his inner peace is paramount. If the relationship no longer aligns with his purpose or values, it's wiser to walk away. As Epictetus wisely put it, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By choosing to uphold your peace of mind, you affirm your commitment to your well-being above all else. So, there you have it. The 9 stages a woman goes through during no contact, and how you, as a man, can navigate this emotionally charged period with the strength and wisdom of a Stoic. No contact isn't just a tactic to make her miss you. It's a crucial opportunity for self-reflection, growth, and emotional clarity. This period is about reclaiming your inner peace, becoming more grounded, and emerging as a stronger version of yourself. Whether she decides to come back into your life or not, the most important outcome is the transformation you undergo into becoming a man who is emotionally resilient, wise, and deeply aware of his own value. If you found this video helpful, take a moment to hit that like button. It really helps the channel reach more people who might benefit from this message. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay updated with future videos that dive even deeper into the power of Stoicism in modern relationships. And of course, share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your own experiences with no contact and how Stoic principles have guided you through those challenging moments. Before you go, I highly recommend watching the videos on your screen. Each one offers more insights on how to apply Stoicism to your relationships and personal growth. Stay strong, stay grounded, and remember, your peace is your ultimate power. Conclusion: navigating the no-contact phase is more than just about making her miss you. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. By embracing Stoic principles, you've taken control of your emotions, gained clarity, and cultivated inner strength. Whether she returns or not, the growth you've experienced during this time is invaluable. The real victory is in your transformation, the man you've become, grounded in self-awareness, resilience, and emotional maturity. Remember, your worth isn't defined by someone else's actions. Stay true to your values, focus on your personal growth, and let time reveal what's meant to be. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit like and share it with anyone who might need a reminder of their own strength. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and make sure to subscribe for more content on how Stoicism can transform your relationships and life. Stay strong, stay grounded, and trust that your journey toward emotional resilience is the real key to happiness.